introduce everybody to her. So here she is, Ali.
Hi,
How are
thank you for
you
having
today?
me.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Jill?
Good. I'm doing well, thank you. So I know I found you on Facebook because I think you're friends with some of my friends, and I really enjoy your work. I don't know how many years ago it was that I bought my first painting from you. But I just wanted to kind of introduce you to all of my friends and just to see if you could tell them about you and what you do with your artwork and how you determine what you want to paint and just a little history of yourself.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to just go ahead and
Sure. Yeah,
start?
how'd you start? What was your starting in the art world?
Okay. So I always have loved art. My grandmother collected art. My mom collected art. I started collecting art, but like a lot of people, I did not know that I did not think I could paint. So I did not start painting until I was 40, and it's a second career for me. So I'm 48, so I've been painting 8 years. So I collected art, and I would always walk around my house and say, "Oh, if I could learn how to paint, I would never stop painting." But I know that it's just something I wouldn't be able to do. So I tried lots of other crafts that were less intimidating to me. Like for a while, I made lamps and I made jewelry. I would decorate my house. So I was always very crafty. I had that flair. And I spent 20 years as a high school guidance counselor. And it was a very stressful career. So I was always looking for a creative release. And finally, one day after I had tried so many other venues, I just said, I am going to teach myself how to paint. And I spoke to a lot of artists, and what I heard from a lot of artists was the best way to learn how to paint is to do it every day, which didn't make sense to me at the time because I was like, you only know what you know. But actually, when you start doing something every day, you build up your skills on your own. So I picked up a paintbrush, and I was still working as high school guidance counselor, and I painted every single day for 3 years straight. So I would go to work and I would come home and I would paint, and I would paint on the weekends. And I started putting my art online on Facebook. And I was selling at a few stores, local shops, because I was doing the jewelry and they allowed me to show my art. And people started buying it, and it was really reaffirming. So I just kept going.
Okay, awesome. I think my first painting I bought from you was probably about 4 years ago. It was right after I bought my this current house, and so I probably got in right in that as you just started going
As the
really quick.
prices started
Yeah,
increasing. Yes, yeah. And the prices do increase over time.
yeah,
So yeah, you got in great right at the start.
I did. So I have different. You've used different mediums on the different paintings that I have. My first one that I bought was actually on plywood, I think, or some type of wood.
Probably because when I first started painting, I was painting on whatever I could get my hands on. I
Mhm.
was actually very intimidated to use supplies that were made for painters. So, because I felt like I wasn't an artist. So, to go and buy a canvas, and I didn't know which canvases to buy. So, I was painting on cardboard and wood and items I found around my house.
Okay. So what is your favorite medium to paint in? Now, the last painting I bought for you was on canvas. What do
Mhm.
you prefer to paint on?
I primarily use canvas panels because they are accessible, easy to get. Like if someone wanted to paint, Michael's has great supplies. A lot of times they'll have three canvases, get one. I love to paint on wood, but really well made wood canvases, you have to find a craftsman, and they are very expensive. So I primarily use the canvas because it's less costly and easier to access.
Okay.
Um, and recently I've taken a step further and I've started framing my art, which I've never done before. So it's an evolving
Yeah.
process,
Okay.
changing as I go.
So, and as far as the artwork that I have, so my first one, which I affectionately call my lady. So I have the lady, I have the ballerinas. So I have the one main ballerina, then I have the smaller ballerinas that you did on paper that was framed. And then my last one was a floral. So, and I know you do pets and you
Mhm.
do, I love your swimming series. I think
Yes.
if I had a beach house or something, or I would live down the lake, I would love to have your swimming series. Out of all those different types of paintings of subjects, what do you prefer? A, do you like doing people better than florals or?
I don't have a preference. I really paint based on my moods. So I have a group of subjects that I like to paint. Like I'll do my ladies, I'll do cocktails, I'll do animals, I'll do florals. And a wonderful thing is through my clients that request custom orders, I've started painting things that I normally wouldn't think to paint. Like I just did a scene of children jumping off a dock, and I loved painting that. So that has opened up what I paint, and I do have a very short attention span, and I get bored easy, and that's why I paint different subjects.
Uh-huh.
But when I paint, just depends on my mood. So someone may ask me for a floral, but at that time I'll be painting cocktails. But I could wake up the next day and want to paint a floral. So it's really intuitive, and I don't know how it comes and goes. It's just a feeling that I have, and I'll wake up and I'll start a new subject.
That's fabulous. And I love your cocktails. I bought, you do art shows, and I think it was at Westland. I think
Wesson.
it was. So, and I bought your cocktails there, and they're down in my bar. They're fabulous. I wish I had a bigger wall because I loved your old fashioned. I would have loved to have that as a really, really large picture. But if you could just tell everybody where they can see your work, and if you have, I know we're with this quarantine thing. You're probably not doing any shows, but you kind of have some specific shows that you tend to do every year. If you can kind of let everybody know what shows that you do, and places where people can find your work, both online and maybe in studios.
Sure. So, a local show that I've been doing for the past several years, there's actually two that are local. One is the Westland Artist Market in Norcross, Georgia. They're not going to have that next year, but it'll be picked up next year. And then I also, for several years, have been doing Spotlight and Art down in Atlanta at the Trinity School. I've recently branched out to Nashville, and I've done the Harding Art Show. I also have a website, and that's www.alilejahdesigns.com. And I sell my work online, and I am giving discounts until we are out of quarantine. And which is new for me. I've been painting for about 8 years. I've never quote unquote put my artwork on sale because it's very important to me to maintain the integrity of my prices, but we've also never been in a pandemic before. So
That's true.
yeah, so this is the first time I am giving a discount until we're released. So and then I have Instagram, which I post there daily, and that's at Ali Leja Art. And then I sell in several galleries and local shops, and all of those shops are listed on my website under
Okay.
galleries.
Okay. Super.
Mhm.
Super. And this is full time for you now because you're no longer doing the counseling, high school
This
counseling.
is full time for me now, and I love it, and I want people to know, because I know a lot of times people say I want to paint. I hope I can inspire people, because I'm self-taught, to go out and try it. And what the thing I've learned most from the painting is that if you really, really, really want to do something and you set your mind to it, you can. Because if someone had told me that I would be a full-time artist, if they had told me that 10 years ago, I would have laughed and never believed them. So I hope this inspires people, if they've been thinking about painting or wanting to paint, to go ahead and give it a try.
All right, fabulous. Thank you for joining us today. And I know I've told you before, I need to build a new house because I need more walls. I've run out of wall space.
Yes.
But
And
thank you
you've been
so
a
much.
client for a
And
long
I,
time.
and I will post your websites and your Instagram account and everything down below so everybody can contact you. And if anybody else has questions, you can give me a call at 404-867-2760. And my website is I'm sorry, southernporchhomes.com. My email is jill@southernporchhomes.com. Thank you so much, Ali. It was really great talking to you today. You have a great day.
Thank you, Jill.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.